Yeah, and we're talking about living the life you love. This is where we get passionate, folks. Just want to warn you. Helping people live their dreams and find their passions. What were you thinking? Anyway, that's what empowerment coach Marian Edvardson is all about. She's passionate about inspiring and empowering folks to live the best life they can. Marian Edvardson, you're joining us to talk about your philosophy on living a bit here.
Yes, I am. Thanks, Jeff, for having me here.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for joining us. So, and you use this phrase, sterling quality of life. What does that mean?
Well, the true definition of sterling is of the highest quality, or the best. So what other way is there to live?
Good point indeed. All right, and talk about your passion too, because just a few moments ago we were just kind of chatting off camera about this, and everybody has different passions, things they like to do, maybe things they're into, but talk about yours a little bit, if I may ask you.
Sure. Well, all I ever really wanted to be was a baseball mom.
Okay.
And my twin boys, who are almost 9, have fulfilled that to the hilt on all-star games, just living full out what their passions are.
If they'd been hockey players, would you have been just like, no way, man?
No, I would let them be what they want, because that would be what their passion is.
Of course, yeah. Right. All right, well, and you talk about things that people can do to empower their lives, to have that sterling tips for success, as it were, perhaps. And one of them, I understand, is have fun. Just love what you do, right? How do you decide that? I mean, how do you determine, let's say especially if you're an adult, I think if you're a kid, you kind of just gravitate to whatever you like, but let's say you're an adult and you're kind of trying to figure, well, what am I doing? I'm not feeling it so much. How do you figure it out then?
Well, so many times we're under so much stress to just get through the day, but when you stop for a moment and breathe and just figure out what lights you up, why do you get out of bed in the morning, what really drives you, and get to the heart of what matters to you, that really is your passion. And have fun just doing what you love, because that's where the magic happens.
So you have fun. That was one of the things we had up on the screen there. You also mentioned write down your goals and your passions, right? And why does that make a difference?
That makes a difference because actually there's a neuroscience behind that, that if you take a pen to paper, you are making that concrete. And 95% of people out there don't write down their goals, so they don't happen.
Is it really? So it's that much more likely to have success reaching those goals?
Write it down.
And you say to break it down into doable pieces. How do you do that, and why does that matter?
Well, that matters because you want to give your dreams or your goals a timeline. Because a goal without a deadline is just a wish.
It's kind of a dream.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So write down what it's going to look like for you, and then it's amazing how that starts to show up in your life. Yeah.
And you're saying live it every day. So now what if you're having a day where you're just completely, you're just swamped with other things that have nothing to do with it, stuff that really isn't fun, let alone passionate. How do you find a way to live something of it every day?
Find 5 minutes, even if you have the busiest day, or the last 5 minutes before you go to bed at night, think about what matters most to you.
Okay.
Because your brain works on that while you're sleeping.
Okay. So sort of subconsciously, it's building to move things in place, right?
Yeah.
Now, Sue, our producer, is asking me to have you do the passion test on me. I don't know if I'm ready for this, Marian, but I think what the heck? Wouldn't be the first time I've just jumped into something. What are we doing?
Well, part of what makes things work for me is when I discovered the book, The Passion Test, which was a New York Times bestseller written by Janet Bray Atwood and Chris Atwood.
Okay.
So I use that in my coaching as a tool to empower you and figure out what matters most to you in life. So if we had an hour, we have an hour, right?
Oh, sure, yeah, of course. She says only about 30 seconds. Right. That's Sue for you. Just kidding, Sue.
You would write down your top 10 passions.
I love being outdoors.
Being outdoors.
Okay.
What's another one?
Specifically, I love flying.
Okay.
And I love the ocean.
Okay, so which is more important to you, being outdoors or flying?
Well, oh gosh. Well, I guess if I'm flying, I like to fly a paraglider. So
and you have to be outdoors to fly, so it's all part of the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of making choices and deciding which is more important. And when you put that focus on it, it makes it more clear, and it makes it more real, and it happens for you.
Okay. All right. So that's just a part of the passion test. I
understand. That's just a
and
small
unfortunately,
part.
we don't have time for
you don't have
anymore.
An hour.
It's one of those. Yes, you'll have to. Yes, you'll have to check out our website. That's an easy way to get more information about this. Of course, to continue on it with your own path, Marian Edvardson. Thank you so much for joining us. WTNH.com is the website to get that information. We'll be right back.